number 3. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening, live in Los Angeles, iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, FS1, Ty Law in 15 minutes. Joy Taylor is joining me today. We had our blazing 5 picks. Very excited. This weekend's going to be the best. Kind of started last night.
Are you looking for your Darnold dollars?
My Darnold dollars. It's going to be. We got baseball playoffs in an hour. This is a great time of the year. If you're going to rate sports months, October is a great month. This weekend I'll be parked in front of the TV watching Habib and Connor and all that stuff, and then Texas, Oklahoma, baseball playoffs after us. Yeah, I was driving around this morning coming to work, and somebody was talking about we don't have as many rivalries as we used to. We do. You'll see one of them tonight. Red Sox, Yankees, that's a rivalry. So huge sports weekend. And again, coming up in 15 minutes, 3-time Super Bowl champ Ty Law, good dude, former Patriot, is going to be here to talk about, the Patriots let go of a lot of good players, and when he was playing Ty Law, they let go of him. And then later this hour, Jason McIntyre is here. Monday headlines today. Well, Patriots smashed the Colts on Thursday Night Football, so let me start with this. It used to be before Henry Ford created the assembly line. It took 12 and a half hours to build a car. One car, 12 and a half hours. And then in the early 1900s, there was this guy named Henry Ford. Ford, Chevy, Dodge, Ford, Henry Ford. He created an assembly line. And the assembly line could make a car in 2 hours. Now, it was repetition. It was efficiency. Those aren't fun words. And you know what that assembly line was about? It was about taking a man on an assembly line and telling him, you just put the steering wheel in that spot. Just do your job. You don't have to be an expert at everything. Just do your job. Well, it's repetitious. Well, it's efficient. 12 hours to 2 to build a car. Henry Ford changed American industry with the assembly line. And New England and Bill Belichick have changed American football forever with their own version of it. Just do your job. Josh Gordon was the 71st person to catch a touchdown pass from Tom Brady. Yeah. This is what Belichick does. Interchangeable parts. OBJ, Le'Veon Bell, Ezekiel Elliott, Antonio Brown. We're not going to build around an individual part. Is it fun? Well, is winning fun? If you don't run business like the Patriots, you're out of business. 3 of the 4 guys who had touchdown passes last night were not Patriots last year. By the way, they're red zone numbers. Their offensive numbers don't change when Gronk gets hurt. Although Gronk is valuable, but they're not going to build around you. And Henry Ford took out the individualism. It's an assembly line. Just do your job. Just put the steering wheel in. Even Rob Gronkowski, who embodies fun, said this offseason, I'm only playing with Brady. And by the way, we see Belichick. Belichick's the mean old, he's Henry Ford. But don't kid yourself. Tom's running the factory. Tom won't throw to you if you don't memorize the playbook. Tom would not throw to Ocho. Tom will not throw to wide receivers if you're not buttoned up and you don't get into efficiency and repetition. Folks, egos blow up teams. Politics blow up teams. Individuality blows up teams. Noise blows up teams. Saxonville, there's no nicknames here. Guarantees, Rex Ryan, Philadelphia Eagles, there's no guarantees here. Only 5 television shows in prime time have lasted as long as the Patriots dynasty of 18 years. And 2 of those are Law and Order. You just don't last 18 years with big individuality in the NFL, with big egos, locker room full of politics, paying a ton for perimeter players. It's funny last night, listening to Buck and Aikman. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman only do Patriot games in the Super Bowl. So they occasionally do them. But they're NFC guys. They don't do AFC games. So last night was a rare treat for Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. They were in Foxborough doing a regular season New England game. And it was interesting. It wasn't Jim Nantz, who's seen a million of them. It wasn't Jim Nantz. It was Buck and Aikman. And they were just sort of marveling at the machine of the Patriots.
They've played in 7 straight AFC championship games. The sustained excellence, the culture here with the Patriots, is just unheard of and almost impossible to even wrap your head around.
You can't even put it into words. As someone who played, and I was able to win 3 and 4 years, the Patriots certainly did that and went on and have won 2 more, but what they've done, everything else pales in comparison. I don't care any other team you want to compare it with, maybe in all of sports, but certainly in the NFL. There's nothing that comes close. Greatest dynasty that I've ever seen.
And Troy Aikman was in a dynasty, and Joe Buck, Yankees, was broadcasting a dynasty. There's nothing like it. By the way, I hear this about the Patriots assembly line, their machine. It's no fun. Remember Cassius Marsh, who played for the Patriots, said he hated it last year. It's no fun here. He's now a 49er. They're going to lose again this weekend. I mean, let's be honest about it. We all have that loser cousin in our family. Man, I don't want to be tied to a job. I want my freedom. That's called summer. You're 17 years old. Then you have to get a job and be a grown-up. Assembly lines may not always be the most fun, but winning is fun. Repetition, efficiency over ego, individuality. You want that? I love the NBA, too. I love the NBA. But that's what they do. That's not what football does. All right, I'm going to mention something. I am almost, how can I put this? I'm almost embarrassed. I considered not talking about this on the show today. I don't even, but I am a journalist, and I've got to report this story. Tom Brady last night became the 3rd quarterback to reach 500 career touchdown passes. Of course, that's just in the regular season. Of course, he's thrown for almost 575, but the NFL doesn't acknowledge that. You know, why would you acknowledge playoffs? Oh, I don't know, because it's the one thing that separates him from Peyton Manning. That's why he's the GOAT and Peyton's not. That's why he's the GOAT and Brett Favre's not. It's embarrassing that I even talk about this. He's won 5 Super Bowls. For a musician, that's 5 Grammys. For an actor, that's 5 Oscars. Do you think if this was an entertainment show, I'd spend a lot of time on Meryl Streep winning a People's Choice Award? I mean, can you imagine? The NFL does not count Tom's playoff touchdowns. If you and I got into an argument about Michael Jordan, and I liked LeBron, and you liked Michael Jordan, and you said, hey, man, in your face, 6 for 6, and I went, oh, no, you can't count that. The next word out of your mouth would be, because LeBron wins everything else. Your argument for the greatest basketball player is solely about 6 for 6. In the NFL, though, Tom Brady, 500 career touchdown passes. No, he's got 571. By the way, he's got 71 playoff touchdown passes. Peyton Manning's got 40. Favre's got 44. I mean, I'm not a record guy, but isn't that the difference between Brady and Manning? The 71, not the 500? Isn't that? I can remember almost all of his 71. I don't remember a lot of his 500. What makes him the GOAT isn't the 500. It's the 71 that nobody counts, which is what makes Jordan isn't a Tuesday night in Denver beating the Nuggets. It's the 6 for 6. Humiliating moment for me as a broadcaster. You know, I was thinking about this, talking about kind of the assembly line, kind of the machine of the Patriots. The NBA is very much star over coach, star over team. The NFL is much more machine over star. The downside of the way the NBA does it is there are no rivalries in the NBA anymore. Celtics-Lakers means nothing. It's LeBron now against Kyrie if they play. Oklahoma City, Golden State's not a rivalry. It's Durant against Westbrook. I couldn't give a rip if the Celtics play the Lakers. It means not. You know what I'd like to see, honestly? I'd like to see LeBron against Ben Simmons, who I think is kind of the next LeBron. Won't never beat LeBron the scorer, but he'll be a good scorer.
Yeah, but the rivalry thing in the NBA too, like it's a different environment now.
It's a player rivalry.
Yeah, and they're friends and they work out together in the off season.
The NBA doesn't have really rivalries.
How rivalry is it?
The NBA is a rivalryless league now. What does it matter? It's all about think of the biggest matchups in the NBA. It's about the player. It's about the Clippers having to face Chris Paul. It's about can somebody knock off the Kevin Durant, the dynasty? But
it's more storylines than it is rivalry.
That's right. It's the NBA is about the individual, and therefore it's killed rivalries. The rivalries are just between the players, and even then they don't.
But I don't think it makes it any less interesting. There's just more angles, and it's less. I guess it's less vicious. But you can't really buy into that anyway. Like I said, these guys are all working out together in the off season. They're not this whole idea that there's like this deep hatred.
But I like Texas, Oklahoma. I liked Ali Frazier. I like Auburn, Alabama. I like Steelers, Ravens. I like Packers, Bears. Like, I like rivalries. Rivalries are something to me. I like, the Saints in Atlanta to me, if you live in the South, feels big. The Packers to me, by the way, Patriots, Colts last night had a little rivalry to it because Deflategate, Patriots. I like rival. I just don't think when you heighten the individual, the rivalries die in sports. Now, they become personal rivalries.
True, but also then if an individual goes down for, an injury, it doesn't end the season for the entire team because there's other individuals.
Man, if the Celtics-Lakers played in the finals, would you care? Any more than...
Of course.
But if the Lakers...
Especially now.
Well, I would because of LeBron.
And Kyrie.
Yeah. But if Kyrie wasn't there and LeBron wasn't there, I'd be like, I just want to see the best players. I guess my whole point is the NFL is a system, mostly system. You can still college football. College sports is mostly about the coach and the system, not the individual. NBA's individual, but it's killed rivalry.
Well, the rivalries, I think, are strongest still in college sports and college football particularly.
Yeah. Ty Law around the corner, former Patriot. He's seen guys get cut. Belichick did it. They look to be back. He'll be joining us. Everybody knows Untucked shirts. Replace the sloppy smock look of an untucked dress shirt. They are designed to be worn untucked. That's their business. That's what they do. You don't have to be out of a magazine to think it looks good on you. Tall, short, thin, wide, long torso guy doesn't matter. What Untucked designers did was master the proportions that determine how your shirt falls, and especially for bigger guys who want to look kind of refined and neat and casual, but they don't want to tuck stuff in. And right now they got their fall and their winter stuff out. And you can go to untuckit.com and put in the code HERD, H-E-R-D, and get 20% off your purchases. Right now, fall and winter stuff is out. You can also go to one of their 25 retail outlet locations around America. But regardless of your shape or your size, tall, short, thin, wide, unsmock yourself, unslop yourself, go to untuckit.com, untuck yourself. The promo code again, this will get you 20% off, which is a real thing. Not $20, 20% off. Untuckit.com, code HERD. GQ calls them perfection.
The NLCS on FS1. Rockies, Brewers, and Braves, Dodgers. Game 2.